Hi loves, so I've decided to film my eyebrow tutorial for you. Now you might not like my eyebrows, but I like my eyebrows. I'm sure that someone out there likes my eyebrows and they'll appreciate this video. Anywho, so this is one of the ways that I do them. I do have different sort of methods. However, this is sort of the go-to style or method for me to use them. To what? To use them, to do them. Um, anyway, so without further ado, let's get to the video. Okay guys, so I don't have a specific way that I do my eyebrows. I do tend to use different products and different techniques depending on where I'm going or how I'm feeling. However, this is sort of the main one that I tend to use. So this is what I will be showing you, unless in the future I change and I use something else as my main way of doing my eyebrows, then I will update it. But this is what I do for now as my main thing. Okay, so the first product I will be using is the Sleek Makeup eyebrow pencil in 129, which is this. I will link everything down below, but here goes. Right. So I just use a spoolie and I make sure that my eyebrows are brushed out pretty well. I don't really thread my eyebrows or anything anymore. When I was younger, I used to do it a lot, and then I noticed that my hair was getting a bit thin, so I just stopped doing it. I do think my eyebrows are quite naturally arched, so I don't really do anything to them unless I think that they're getting very bushy. Then I might pluck a few hairs here or there. And I'm just going to go in with my pencil and I'm going to trace the outline of my eyebrow. And it's really just to add definition. So I start with the bottom and then I go ahead and do the top. Now when I do the top, I don't start from the beginning because I hate that sort of halo look where you can see the lines and then they're filled in afterwards. So I like to start from sort of an inch inwards. Obviously that might be less than an inch. I didn't do very well in maths, guys. So at the bottom I always start right at the tip like that, but then at the top I always start, let's say, 1.5 centimeters, if that's right, in. Okay, so I start from about here and I go ahead and I trace in the same way. Then I take my spoolie again and I just brush. Although I do like my eyebrows quite thick, I don't like that you can tell that, you know, you've just gotten a pencil and you've started painting your eyebrows, as my ex used to say. Then I go ahead and just fill it in. And when you're filling in, you're doing really light strokes all the way through. Don't want any harsh lines. So very, very light sort of taps in one motion. And although at the bottom, and you can start at the tip, but don't take it all the way up, just literally strokes here. And then with this tip bit, we're going to do movements upwards, but very, very short movements. Because this is what everyone's eyebrow looks like. Well, natural eyebrows are supposed to look like. The lines are not drawn straight on. It's not a colouring book, but upwards. Okay. So that's sort of the basic shape. And then obviously I used to be really messy with my eyebrows because I used to think, oh, concealer will fix it. But now I am sort of more precise when I'm doing things. Although it's not the be all and end all. Concealer does fix everything, but it doesn't matter. So this is the sort of shape that I normally go for, which is as close to my natural shape as possible. Then I'm going to take Nikki K in colour NC L010, which is coffee. It's quite light for me. However, I use it as my highlight underneath my brow. So it doesn't matter if you use a colour that's slightly lighter for you. And these are quite nice because they have a brush tip. And I'm literally going to trace underneath. I'm going to start before my eyebrow. And I'm going to be more precise with this. Okay. That's good. And then I'll take I sometimes do use the Kiko concealer, which is quite nice because it's a sculpt, and I use the MAC Sculpt for under my eyebrow. However, I did say that I do use different products, but this is sort of the main ones. These are sort of the main ones that I use. So I'm going to take the LA Girl Pro Concealer in Espresso for above my eyebrow. And literally doing the same thing that I did. You can see that this is closer to my colour, although it's not the same colour. This is closer to my skin tone. And I'm going to use this for above my brow. And again, it's easier because it has a brush tip. And literally tracing, neatening up everything. And then what I like to do is take my top concealer and use that in the center, because as I said, I don't like those harsh lines. So I'm just going to take my sponge and stroke upwards, just so my concealer isn't harsh. Leave the center that you've put, leave the center concealer that you've put here, but literally just use the sponge and move it upwards, and then do the same thing underneath your eyebrow. So use the sponge in downward motions now, just to blend in your concealer a bit. This helps to blend it out as well without being too messy on your eyebrows, and you don't want to start getting concealer all through your brow. And just make sure that my the end of my brow is quite defined, because I like it like that. And then you're going to take a spoolie again, and you're going to brush the inside of your brow. This is to stop the harshness at the tip. So first of all, you're going to do quite short strokes this way towards the brow. This stops it from being so harsh. And then I like to go upwards as well, because obviously the beginning of your eyebrow, the hairs are always upwards. They don't go in a straight, flat motion straight away. Then you can take your sponge and just go in an upward stroke to get rid of your concealer line. Okay guys, so this is the finished look, obviously with both sides done. The ways that I show you may not be the way, but they're the ways that work for me. Let me know if there's anything else that you'd like to see. Remember to like, share, comment and subscribe.